Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Biz Chat here on August the 15th. And we welcome you. We're going to have a couple of very cool topics this morning. I'm Sunshower Rose, and I'll be hosting with Carl Krebs, my fellow Canadian. I was born in the same town he lives in. Isn't that the coolest thing? And then on the second part of our program this morning, Angela Shaughnessy, one of the administrators for our LiveYounger Facebook group, will be chatting with you about inviting and probably more about our Facebook group, which I hope you're participating in. It's the coolest place. So we'll get rolling right away. So the first part, as I mentioned, is going to be about Zoom etiquette. Oh my goodness, there is such a thing as Zoom etiquette, and we want to be clear up front. This is not like rules and policies and it's all in cement. It's not. It's just
Sunshower, I'm going to pause you just a minute. I'm going to mute everyone and you'll need to unmute yourself again.
okay. So while Robin and Gregory and some of the others are floating around somewhere around Greece on a wonderful cruise ship for LifeWave's 20th anniversary, we will proceed and take on our leadership roles. So with that, I'd like to start talking a bit about Zoom etiquette. So one of the things is, being on camera is always a good thing. In fact, here's how I liken it unto, I was thinking about it this morning. If I had some flowers in a bouquet, but part of them were covered, it would not make a full bouquet. So I love it when I can see everybody's smiling faces. I hope you agree with that. Carl? Carl, go ahead and unmute.
Yes, good morning to everybody. It's a pleasure to be on this Biz Chat with you, and I totally agree that etiquette is something that we want to speak about it, but as you said, not in the way that we are mandating it. We're not creating laws or bylaws here, but we're merely making suggestions so that the experience, and the Zoom experience in particular, can be a good one for everybody. And we want to be productive. We want to be polite and respectful, and we want to achieve the goals of having these Zoom calls. So I'm looking forward to doing this with you.
Yes, and we appreciate everybody that shows up. I mean, it's Pacific time, it's 8 a.m. Not everybody will do that, but you're here. And if you're not here, you can watch this replay, and it's probably going to be a pretty important one. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and I made a little PowerPoint so that we could kind of follow along and have some visuals. So as I said, it's very cool if you can be on camera. And so let me start my slideshow here. So can you see this? Hopefully you can see this. And so this is this is a guy that is he's backlit, which means there's no light in front of him. And also we can see a ceiling fan and his ceiling. But the most important part about this particular slide is the fact that he's not very well lit. We want to see your bright, shiny
We're
face.
not seeing it, Sunshower.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No slide, not seeing a slide.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys.
There we go.
There we go.
I'll say, so starting that part over. So this guy, he has a smile on his face. Maybe we can hardly see it because he's not very well lit. And then the next slide, so let me put it in slideshow form. So that's him. Now, are you seeing okay?
He's still pretty dark.
Dark?
Yes, we can see. The point is that it is dark, right? Sunshower.
Yeah, that's the exact point.
The lighting is not good.
Exactly. And same here. This young lady is looking directly at her camera, but there's an angle to her, say she's on a laptop. There's some sort of an angle going on, and we're looking kind of up at her. We'd rather look straight on, and we see lights on, and we see a very big glare behind her from a window. And here's another, another thing is, we don't want to really look up at your nostrils, and we don't really want to see your ceiling fans. I mean, they're there, but I mean, we'd rather see your face looking, as this slide will show you, straight on with your camera at eye level. Another point that I like to make is, if you're on camera, please be paying attention. It's like you're in a real meeting, and it's okay if you need to take a drink or something, or if you have to chew. How about muting and turning off your camera? And I'll move on to this in just a minute. So let's go ahead and have Carl give some input, please.
Yeah, just to touch on some of those points, camera angle is everything. And I know sometimes we move around in meetings. It's okay to then turn off your camera, get to your destination point, and realign yourself properly with the camera, because we don't want to make give advice on whether or not you need some manscaping or some escaping about nostril hairs and stuff. And we're trying to keep it light here, but the angle is important. What I want to focus on in part of the segment is your meetings settings in your Zoom. Get familiar with that. And it's simply in your bottom tray, go to your more area and click on meetings. And in there, I think it's important to know how you're going to come on to that Zoom call. And you can mute yourself and turn your camera on so that when you appear, you're on the call, but you're not getting the background noise from a hot mic, and you don't have the camera at a bad angle. And if you have those preset, it just makes it better. And then when you're ready to come on to the camera, you have your camera angle set properly. And of course, keeping yourself mute is very important until you're wanting to speak or the host has acknowledged you and asked you to respond to something. So meetings settings, get in that back area of Zoom and get familiar with it. Also set up your profile picture. Have a picture in that event that you are keeping your camera off for a very good reason. Have a good profile picture. An iPhone user is not a name. I just want to point that out. Put your name in so we know. As you said, Rose, this is a real meeting. And the etiquette that has evolved through the technology that we all love and take advantage of has allowed us to be a little more casual, but we are still in a meeting. So I think punctuality is important. The Zoom does allow you to come into a meeting late, undisturbing the meeting, unlike walking into a real meeting where you're going to disturb the meeting by just simply opening up the door. But keep your mic off and camera until you're ready. But in many ways, the meeting is still the same. It's still going back to grassroots etiquette of showing up on time, respectful of who's speaking at what time, and then speaking when it's your turn. So those are just a few points. I'm going to turn it back to you and carry on with yours, and then I'm going to make a few more comments later.
Sure. Thank you so much, Carl. I just love that we can work like this together. You know, we're both professional in the art world and videography. It comes naturally. I've been doing the Zoom thing since 2016. So I kind of have gotten used to it. And just so you know, you do not have to have a Zoom account in order to come to these meetings. Just so we're clear on that. But if you don't have an account, you won't be able to do the things we're suggesting, i.e. having your photo show up. And let's talk again about being on camera. You know, some people say when they're speaking, like on our miracle call, they go, well, I'm not going to show myself because I'm kind of sweaty, or, it's like, well, I'd rather see you glistening than not see you at all. I love to, like when you're saying your stories and the emotion and the enthusiasm that comes out, it's so much more fun if we can see your face, see your smile, and see that you really are so sincere about what you're talking about.
Right,
Okay.
and you can only capture that body language, through having the camera on. So you're absolutely right. Body language does come through by having the camera on.
And you did mention when we were talking about this presentation yesterday, Carl, you mentioned that if you're in your car, now that's a whole different story. We want you to keep your eyes on the road. How in the world could you really possibly pay attention by looking in your camera and seeing what's going on in the meeting? Better that you just be camera off and just listen. So I'd like
Absolutely.
to continue.
Those usually aren't good camera angles either.
No, those are usually nostrils up. So, oh, I forgot, I gotta share screen again. Here we go. And so can you see what I'm showing now?
Yes, it's showing up. Perfect.
There we go. So you can create a basic account, which means you don't pay any money. You're limited in certain ways, as you can see right here. And I can make, this PowerPoint available if Liz and everybody decides that that's what they'd like. So when you do get to you creating your homepage, there's a little gear, as I've pointed out, on the right upper side here. And they will want to verify you. So they will send you a code by email that you have to verify you are who you say you are. And here we are in your own profile where you might want to just add your photo. And so under profile, you'll see it won't be your own photo yet. It's going to be the little round head with the little shoulders, right? The little icon. But you will see that there is a little pencil right there in the middle. And that's where you can click that pencil. That means edit. And that's where you can add a photo from your computer or your device. And definitely click save. It's no good at all if you don't click save. And then just so you're aware, when we are in a meeting with our LiveYounger folks, if you want to set things on your bottom left side of your screen, as I've shown here, we've got the mute and start and stop video. You can blur your background, which sometimes you've seen me do. Right now, I've chosen a virtual background that I actually made myself. I thought it would be nice to honor LifeWave's fairly current logo-ish patch pretty thing. I just love it so much. Besides, it's turquoise. So you can do all that in the lower left side. And again, I can post this somewhere else for you if you need it, like in our LiveYounger Facebook. But if you want to mess around with virtual backgrounds, it's all spelled out. And it says right in the middle here about clicking on navigate to preferences. Well, sometimes I can't even find preferences. So I'll just do a search for backgrounds and then I'm in. I guess that's it. So what would you like to say on that part?
What I would like to add, and thank you for that great presentation, is, as we like to say, be a happy clicker. Don't be afraid to go into your Zoom back office and get familiar with those settings, because it's going to make your experience and others a much better Zoom call than you would otherwise have. And of course, the difference between webinars is some of the stuff we're talking about isn't relevant because you're not live. There's nobody talking except the presenters. But on the Zoom calls, I think it's important in etiquette to use the raise hand and wait for the host to acknowledge you. When you're given that chance, be ready to unmute and have your camera on. There you go. Thank you, Sunshine, for showing that hand up. And I think it's important to acknowledge that there are other people who have their hands up too. So let's be polite and respectful to others. I think just barging into the conversation because some idea has crossed your mind is not pertinent. It's not good etiquette if you were to have a face-to-face meeting. And the same follows true, I think, when we have our Zoom meeting. So the raise hand. And just one more thing about the chat. You can overuse the chat and you create a lot of activity on the call. Make it relevant and pertinent to what's being talked about. And I think with some of these suggestions, and again, as we said, they're only suggestions. These are suggestions from the perspective of a host and a participant, which we are both here in Sunshine, myself, and many others. So our job, raise the professional level a little bit, keep it comfortable and casual. But I think with some of these ideas we shared, I think the Zoom experience will be just a whole lot better.
And you know what's really going to be fun? When you and I are in person in Dallas, because remember we did a conference last year? And
that was fun.
You followed me around with your camera and I put the mic in so many people's faces. Hey, give us 3 words that describe LifeWave. And some people were very astute and gave very cool things like keep on patching. What a great thing to say. Anyway, we're going to be doing more of that at this conference in Dallas in October. Just a little plug for the conference. So shall we have questions after Angela gives her talk, or shall we do a few questions now? What do you think?
I think we should let Angela present and then we'll have a Q&A as we often do. That would be my suggestion, but only
Yeah.
my suggestion.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so let's highlight Angela.
All right. I was going to throw in one more little tip. If we do have people who are not using or downloading or creating their own Zoom account or downloading the app, and Carl, I think you're the one who said that iPhone is not a name. So you can click on the little 3 dots in your own square that shows up on the Zoom screen, and you can rename yourself there. So if you're coming in and you don't have an account set up that already has your name or your profile picture in it, if you click on those 3 little dots, one of the options is rename, and you can put your actual name in there so we know who you are, which is really lovely. So that's another fun little tip that I wanted to add. So I will jump into Vibrant Living. And we do have the 2 groups, Vibrant Living and LiveYounger. LiveYounger is our business tools and training and resources and recognition, all of those pieces. And you must be a brand partner in order to be in that group. So today we're going to highlight a little bit more about Vibrant Living. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. When you come into Vibrant Living, this is the screen that you're going to see. And we do change that banner picture every so often just to kind of keep it fresh for the season. And the reason we're highlighting this is because we think there's a lot of misunderstanding or not as clear understanding, I could say, about how the 2 groups differ and what the value of Vibrant Living is. So Vibrant Living, think of it like our incubator or our safe space or a place for anyone who is not a brand partner. So that could be somebody who's never heard the word LifeWave. They know nothing about patches. They could be a customer. They could be a potential customer or a potential brand partner or brand partners. So it's for literally everyone. And it is a really great storehouse treasury holding place and a place that people can start out and they can find out more about the patches. So perhaps if we're talking somebody that you've just started exposing to the patches, you can tell them why this group is so fabulous and you can add them to the group. They can explore. There is no sales pressure. There is no sales allowed in this group. So they have that advantage where they can go and explore the stories. They can see what people are experiencing. Plus, we have all this other fantastic things. We have health and fitness. We have inspiration, motivation. We have recipes. We have fantastic recipes in here. Everything is always positive all of the time. And we don't talk any politics, no religion, nothing controversial. We are just encouragement, uplifting, and how patching is helping us to live a healthier, more vibrant life. So this is a great space. It serves quite a few purposes, not just for that investigatory side where somebody is trying to find out a little bit more and understand what is possible, get some hope. It's also giving you some education on the patches. And people might see, oh, there's more to it. Or maybe there's a health aspect that they need to add into their lives to help the patches be more effective. It's also fabulous for retention. So if you have customers, you want them in this group because they're going to continue to see the stories and the positive impact, and it's going to keep their belief levels up, and it's going to help with your retention with that as well. Not only that, it's a relationship storehouse. So we're building relationships with our people here in this group. And we're tagging them perhaps in a post that's relevant to them. Something pops up and we know, oh, Julie, she has this issue with her shoulder. I have to tag her in this post and I'm going to alert her to it so she can have hope for her shoulder. So we have the testimonials and also conversion. So you may have somebody who's never even heard of patches who may say, what are these patches? That happened to me. And then you might have somebody who's a customer and they might say, well, wait a minute, somebody's getting another result. Should I be doing something more? Or you might have somebody say, I think I'm going to start talking about this. And then they might move into brand partner because their belief has grown. All of those factors are really important with Vibrant Living and the engagement and keeping people engaged in the community. That all helps to build belief, retention, conversion, all of those things. And as I mentioned, it is a safe space. So there's no sales. It is a completely unbranded group. So there's never any mention of X39, X49. We don't name the patches. We can describe the benefits. We can say my main phototherapy patch, or, you know, my duo of patches for pain relief. So it's completely unbranded. We don't mention the company. We don't mention David Schmidt either, because that's a branding. So all of those things are clean, and that's why it makes it so safe and non-sales. So there's no pressure. So this is how you will come into the group, and you will see how things look in the group. We have immediately at the top a featured section, which has our group guidelines. I'll show you those in a minute. Some inviting tips, a little note about how it's unbranded, and we even have a little graphic tutorial that will show you how to search for topics. So I can show you a little bit more as we do kind of our guided tour here. I also wanted to point out that right here, you have most relevant. In both LiveYounger and Vibrant Living, you can switch that and you can make it to new posts. And now it'll put it in the order of the newest things. Most relevant will bring up the posts that have been the most active, or perhaps there's a post from 2020 that somebody tagged someone in. It might pop up to the top of the list if you have it on most relevant, or you can do newest activity as well, which just shows things that have been commented on or dealt with the most recently. A big thing that this group is for our testimonials. And in both of the groups, we have this feature. We have guides. So if you click on guides, you're going to see that we have, and it's going to be a little slow, of course, because we're sharing some bandwidth here, but we have our welcome section. And then we will go into stories. We have stories part 2. We have stories part 3. We will probably have more than that. So we have literally hundreds. You can see part 3 already has 216 stories in it. So this is how we share what's happening. And a good point, and I love this, Helen Peak is often commenting on this, we don't all have our own experience that relates to somebody we're talking to. I don't have an experience with, for instance, an elbow issue, but somebody else does. And it's in here. So we can direct person to the issues that mean the most to them by looking them up. We have a pet section of stories. We have a health and fitness section. We have some great things. Recently, Victoria added a bunch of great stretching, I think, or balance, benefits of stretching. That was it. We have 3 parts, you know, so where people are constantly adding health and other things. And here we have multiple recipes. We have hundreds and hundreds of fantastic recipes. We have inspiration. So that's a quick look at how you can dig into and see more topics in the group. And then I will get us, if you ever want to find out if somebody you've invited to the group is there, you can click on the members tab and you can see the members and you can search. So for instance, I'll just search sun shower. Oh, I misspelled it, so that's why it didn't come up. I was going to say, this is how you know. Oh, I invited, oh, good, sun shower's in the group. She clicked to accept and she's here. Great. I can start interacting with her. So those are some great ways to just use a couple of the features that are in the group. All right, get it back to the beginning. So what I wanted to also show you is that we have some invitation things. And this is another part of what we're doing. So this I'm showing you is actually posted in LiveYounger. And in LiveYounger, under the guides, we have an entire guide, guide 3, which is dedicated to the Facebook groups. Tons of posts of training and information. We have previous videos. Sun shower, I think you've done another session. I've done another session. We have lots of things in there on the etiquette. I love the ad of the PowerPoint today, by the way. That was fantastic. So here we have some reminder tips. What's really important is that we do permission inviting. So Facebook has a thing, if you are inorganic or if you're trying to invite people too much, too quickly, they will tag you or us as the group as spammers. So we recommend stick to 5 a day. And this is because we are doing permission inviting. So we're letting them know we're inviting them to a group, or we're asking them, hey, would you like to join my group? It's all positive, and you can list out the attributes, tell them what's in it for them. And then you actually click the invite button to have them join. And I can show you this in just a moment too, the process that it looks like. And then you remind them, remember to accept and click to join. And you may have to follow up with them if you check that member list and don't see their name. Then that means they haven't accepted yet, and just remind them, oh yeah, have you joined the group yet? It's so great. And then you can tag them in the welcome and the guidelines, and then follow up and begin tagging them in relevant posts. And this is where we begin that engagement, that interaction, that relationship building, and all of those things. I will make a note that if you do invite over 10, so 10 is like pushing the limits with Facebook and the algorithms, where they're going to start tagging you, uh-oh, something's going on here. They call it like mass inviting, spam inviting. If the admins get that, they will automatically, and it's automatically triggered, they will all be declined. And you'll have to start over, because the assumption is either you are spamming, and then we don't want your account to get locked up, we don't want our account to get locked up, or you've been hacked and somebody's using your account and trying to get you in trouble, because that does happen, and we have had that happen. So that's just a quick tip on the inviting. And then as far as posting in Vibrant Living, I talked about how it's completely unbranded. This post will tell you how you can do a good post. Make sure you say how you were before. And it's the same thing we talk about on our Zooms. Tell us briefly how you were before, what you did, and how you are now. And remember to avoid and not do any of those diagnosis things. Stick to symptoms, stick to how you felt, and never to name the patches. So how do we get around naming the patches in Vibrant Living? Again, we just talk about the benefits. Oh, this is my duo set of patches that helps me just have better energy, and I can get through the gym better. I can get through my day better when I got a really crazy day. Or maybe it's that patch that really helps me with detox. I need a little detox right now. My immune system could use a little support. So that would be some way we could describe glutathione. With Eon, oh, this is my patch that takes down my entire body's inflammation. It's just so good at reducing that. It helps me to sleep at night. It helps me with the stress and stress relief. So we get around it by describing what those patches are. So then if somebody actually does ask in the post, what patches are you using? You can describe the benefits, and you can say, please get back with the person who invited you, because they're going to know specifics and what's best for you. So then how do we find out what the actual patches are if we want to make sure? Because we as brand partners have access to both groups. So in Vibrant Living, we're not saying what the patch protocols were. Now we can just literally copy our post, go over to LiveYounger, and we can post the exact same thing and either edit it right there and add the patching protocols, or we can make the very first comment under our post. By the way, I was using X39 at night, Eon and glutathione during the day. I put them here, I put them there. This was my protocol. And then when somebody asks in the other group and their person comes to them and says, what patches was Sunshower using on that post? Oh my gosh, did you see what happened for her? And now you can go, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's talk about what's going on with you. And you can direct it back to them. And this way we have all of the information, and we've done the dual posting method. So these are the Vibrant Living guidelines, and anybody who's brand new should always get tagged in these. As admins, the team has been doing this. If you're inviting people and paying attention, or bringing new people in, or you've had people there for a while, you can always tag them in this post as well, and just to go over the guidelines. We always want people to start in that place. And then group invite tips. We have this in Vibrant Living, so that it's again non-branded. We're not, talking. It's dual posted in Vibrant Living and LiveYounger, but this is the one in Vibrant Living, so that as you add people, they know tips of how to do best inviting practices. And tagging someone. We even have this in here that shows a quick little how to do the tag with an @ symbol in the comments, and then their name comes up and you click on it. And there you go, you tag them, and now they get a little alert in their alarm bells, or that little bell alarm symbol in Facebook that tells you you have notifications. That is also posted in Vibrant Living. So, and now I wanted to show you a really good example of a dual posting. Here we have Joy Michelle, and she has talked about her hiking, and this is the post in Vibrant Living. So you can see She just talks about, I applied patches to my knee, and literally in less than a minute, the pain was dropped down to a 2, and continues to talk about how her hike was pain-free. And then we go over to LiveYounger. Joy Michelle has duplicated her post, and this is just such a beautiful example. So here she says, I applied Ice Wave, tan on the point of pain, white on the opposite side of my knee, and Eon on the pain, on top of the pain. And she talks there about her exact protocol. So this is a beautiful example of how you can post in both groups. And now you have your customers who have access to it. And then you as brand partners have the post details, the patching protocols that the person used, so you can answer their questions. It's a beautiful example of how these groups work synergistically together. So we're back at Vibrant Living. And I think I wanted to show you the inviting. So here at the top of the page, you have the blue invite button. It might look slightly different on a phone. I'm on a computer right now, but you're looking for the same things. And with guides on a phone, by the way, they may be on the side or under the little 3 lines pancake menu, we sometimes call that, in your mobile app. So you just simply click on the invite button, and you can either invite your Facebook friends, so you have to be friends with somebody to do the quick invite, or you need their email, and then a link will be sent to them on email. So either one of those options can get you to invite people to the group. So I think I actually pulled that off in some pretty good time. I think let's open everything up for questions.
Okay, before we do, I'd like to just mention one additional protocol is for people, regardless whether it's the Vibrant Living group or the LiveYounger group. If you have a new person, educate them on what to do. Don't do a brain dump of everybody you know, because guess what? That's going to violate our group's policies and guides because of exactly what Angela said. It continuously happens. I just had it happen the other day that somebody dumped in like 15, 20 people into the LiveYounger group, and they were not brand partners. So they were sending them to the wrong group to begin with. And so we decline all of those because we actually look up every single account that's requesting access to the LiveYounger group to make sure that they in fact are a brand partner. And if it's a spouse of a brand partner, the spouse needs to give what the brand partner's ID number is, which is one of the questions when they join the group. Without it, it makes it much more difficult for us admins to be able to look things up.
That is a fantastic guide. Excuse me, as I'm going to the guide, combining my words here. That is a fantastic point. And we actually had one in Vibrant Living as well last night that was over 20 invites. And you can tell because they happen at once. And so when you go straight down the line and start just clicking names, you haven't told them you're inviting, you're not doing any permission inviting. And then Facebook starts to go, whoa, what have we happening here? We have had admins, myself as an example, sort of get put into a little bit of Facebook jail because we've admitted people on those kind of mass invites. So it does put the group in jeopardy. It puts all of our time. And I know it's a lot of work to look up every single one of those brand partners. So I'll just show you quickly in the guides in LiveYounger, we have a very large section on the Facebook groups. And you can see there are many topics. So we have sample inviting messages. We have chat guidelines and reminders, how some of these images that I've shown you, and things like only brand partners can be added. And some of these are also in the good to know section as well. So we have testimonials in here as well. Multiples, we have pet stories here, patch FAQs. And I'll show you this actually, because this is another important key piece of the searching for your topic before you jump into the chats or do something else, because you can see we have hundreds of FAQs on the patches, hundreds, and business, FAQs. We have probably hundreds more of there. We have all kinds of things in here. So if you go to let's get back to the top here. And if you just go to this little search magnification symbol in the corner, it will search in the group. So we can do knees, and you can search, and voila, we have every post that brings up knees, and you can start finding information on your topics and on your choices. So this is another key thing too, is to use the resources we have, search the topics, look them up, and then you can begin tagging people in them that it relates to. So I hope that adds just a little bit more to the equation of that.
Well, Angela, and everybody, we have to give Angela 80 million kudos, because she is the queen of our our team and puts a lot of hours and time in. And because of all that, with everybody, every week we meet for an hour, Darlene, Victoria, Angela, myself, and sometimes others, but we're all committed to helping this extraordinary tool get valued enough so that you can really succeed in this business. And Angela, what a fabulous job you did today sharing the value. Thank you, honey. You're the best.
Thank you. And Helen, since you're unmuted right now, would you like to share a success story you've had with the conversion from Vibrant Living to brand partner?
Yeah, so I've had 2 so far and more on the way, but both of them start out as customers and later became brand partners. One of them hasn't really kicked in, but she got her whole family involved, and another one is kicked in. And we're just, day by day, taking more and more right actions, getting people on the Sunday night call, for instance. But this is a treasure trove of information. So helpful to, just put the @ sign with the friend's name who has an issue, like the knee that she showed you, invite her to the group, give her an answer for her issues. That's what this whole thing's about. So thank you again so much, Angela.
Thank you, Helen. That was a great ad.
Okay, Sunshower, I'm going to turn it over to you again for heading up the questions and answers.
I have a quick question for Angela. Many times when I want to see a replay of, say, the miracle call, and it's not yet up on our LiveYounger YouTube channel, I have not had success finding it in our LiveYounger Facebook group. How would we do that?
I can answer that. That's because we can no longer record directly to the Facebook groups. Facebook changed that about 2 months ago, something like that. And so until I get it from Zoom, download it, load it into our YouTube channel, I can't post it onto the Facebook group. And it would be on the LiveYounger Facebook group. So sorry about that, but that's how it is. Now, the other thing I've been running into is that sometimes if I post in the Facebook group before it's done totally uploading into the YouTube channel, it doesn't put the image on there. It just puts the link. So if you ever see something that's just a link with YouTube, it's because somehow Facebook fought me and Facebook won in that instance.
Facebook wins a little too often, Liz. So yes, they
Yes.
have thrown a whole monkey wrench in the way things go. And it has made
Yes.
life a lot more difficult for Liz. So if we can all just please have a lot of patience. Liz does so much in the background, you guys. Liz is amazing. And thank you for all you do to make sure we can get access to those videos. So
Well, thank you. Thanks.
Okay, well, wow. I'm inspired. More vibrant living for me. And I hope for you guys too. Wasn't that cool? Thumbs up, everybody. Wow. Okay,
I'll throw in something else too, real briefly here before, because I'm waiting to see if we have hands go up for questions. And this is something that we talked about on our admin call too, is that as leaders, we want to be engaging and modeling those leadership behaviors. So we have run so many story contests where if you post a story, you're in the running for winning patches. Well, we need to model those behaviors when there's no contest, and we need to keep those stories going, and we need to keep adding them. We hear so many stories on that Monday morning miracle call. We hear stories on Sunday night like you wouldn't believe, and we hear them, all over the place. We need to get those stories posted, and we, as leaders, we want to be modeling that for our teams. And we want to be showing our engagement and our activity and our posting, our commenting, our tagging, adding people to the groups. All of those behaviors are things that we show our team how to do by doing them ourselves. And I have to say, and I can't remember who it was, but there's a Lori out there that I'm over here applauding, high-fiving. Lori has been, whoever she is, she's been digging into the LiveYounger group, and she has been studying the posts, and she's been learning. Be the happy clicker that we've been talking about. Sunshine, you talked about that too. I think Carl, you mentioned being the happy clicker. So get in there, investigate, learn, build your confidence, step out of your comfort zone, and let's model that behavior for others to follow.
Great. So we do have a question that came up, and I did put it in the response in the chat earlier, but they're asking, where do you get to the Facebook groups? The newsletter that comes out every week, at the bottom of it has the important links, and it has the link there to the Vibrant Living Facebook group and to the LiveYounger Facebook group. And if I remember right, it's for Vibrant Living, it's vibrantlivingfb.com. And I think the LiveYounger one is, I think that's liveyoungerfb.com. So either one will get you there. And the other place that you can find that is in the liveyoungersuccess.com. Just about anything that you could think of would be accessible in the liveyoungersuccess.com. And at the very top of every page, there's a search bar. And so if you use the search and type in Facebook, it will then show you anywhere Facebook is mentioned. So once you type that in, Angela, right there, or is that sun shower? Yeah, just say Facebook and now hit enter. And now it's going to show you every place that it's showing. And for the links, if you go to the 1, 2, 3, go, that's going to give you the Facebook group links.
And
as well as,
sorry.
Go ahead.
We actually had an entire section added under business basics. So as you were talking, I was like, oh, that is the one thing I forgot to show when I had the screen share before. So you can literally go business basics, Facebook groups. And
I've forgotten that we had actually added that.
Yes,
and I added it.
There's just so much information in here. This is such a robust site. So there's the links, liveyoungerfacebook.com and vibrantlivingfacebook.com. Now, Liz, I'll throw in another little monkey wrench. Something is going sideways in Facebook with the link and LiveYounger. And as the admin team, as Robin gets back and stuff, we're going to try to resolve why that one's not working. So in those cases,
the Vibrant Living one?
The Vibrant Living one, I believe, is working correctly.
It's the
LiveYounger one.
Okay,
so
I'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at that today. I can go into the GoDaddy account.
And I think actually you can look, if you look at it and verify that it's not a Facebook thing, that would be great. But it might be an actual Facebook issue that we've discovered that we might have to change a setting in the group. So just so everyone knows that this in LiveYounger, please use the invite button to invite people. If they're your brand partners, make sure they're on your friend list so you can invite them, or get their email address and invite them with an email link, and then it will work. So we're going to bypass until we resolve. So
Okay, all right. And one more comment I just wanted to make on the Live Younger Success page is that I make all the edits and add everything. And guess what? I forget where stuff's at even. So I have to go do the search. So use the search.
a great tool.
Well, I just want to thank Angela Shaughnessy, combining my words, and Liz Hodges, because who'd have thunk it? There is so much going on behind the scenes. These administrators work very diligently. You can now see not only our Live Younger Facebook and our Vibrant Living Facebook site so robust, but there's a lot really that goes into this, and a lot, Angela keeps her eyes on this. I know Helen does. Any of the admins, they're looking constantly to see if there's anything that needs a little tweaking or somebody needs some help. So, and just think about this. None of us would be here except for Robin Blanc-Mascari's knee. So that's powerful. Our patches are very powerful, and LifeWave is too. We're the darling of the industry now. Okay, I think we only have a few more minutes left and we can take some questions.
Carl has his hand up.
I just wanted to show how that raise hand works. I want to say something on a personal observation. This group, this wonderful group that we have, this community, the origin, the genesis of it is Robin and Gregory. And now the depth and the strength that we have is that we can host a call like this, which is quality and participation is good in the absence of the founders of the group. And I say that is a testimony to the strength of this community. So kudos to all of you. It's a wonderful community to be a part of.
Right on, Carl. Next, Jonathan, please.
Hey guys, I just want to say thank you for this excellent Zoom. You guys are great. Angela, you're amazing. Liz, oh my goodness, I want to be your best friend. Sunshower, you are just amazing. Carl, I love your voice, man. You've got that radio voice, man. I can't wait to meet you guys in Dallas. I can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. I don't see other hands, but I can't see everybody in the Hollywood Squares. Are there any other hands up right now?
Not that I am seeing at the moment. So
No, but I'm
wow.
gonna reshare my screen for a second, Sunshower. I saw a question. It was, I think if I'm getting her name right, Kara Thibodeau, or if I'm saying
Kira.
this right. Anyway,
Kira.
she was asking about Kira, thank you.
Mhm.
How to tag someone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop into, let's just pop into the guidelines post in Live Younger. And this is a place you can tag your new member or your new brand partners as well, or tag them in something in the getting started. Good to know as you welcome them to the group, because as I'm sure probably most of you are aware, our groups are so big. We don't do welcome posts or, oh, thanks for letting me join, because it's just, there's too many of us. So we can't do that. But the way that we welcome people is to tag them in something that's relevant to helping their business, or in Vibrant Living that's relevant to what they're looking for in patching. So I'm just going to come here to the comments. I'm going to click on the comment field and I'm going to start typing at, and Kira, I'm going to type your name. I hope I'm spelling it
That's
right.
right. T-I-D, yeah, that's it. T-H-I-V.
T-I-D.
She's known as Kira Tibb on the in
Yeah.
Facebook.
Okay, so I don't know why. Is it K-I?
No, at Kyra space T-H-I-B. I think that's her. There you go.
Oh, this is her profile name, just
Yes.
the Thib?
Yes.
Okay. So then I click on her name. So actually, I won't even write a note. I'll just put your name. And now you should see a notice come up tagging you. So it's literally that simple. You just type the @ symbol and then you pick their name. If I were to start typing Ravel right now, you can see Ravel's number comes up. Ravel, because you're at the top of my screen, I picked on you. So you can see how easy it is to pick the person's name to tag them. And it's really that simple. And again, this is posted, I believe, in both groups on how to tag people in the guides. So I hope that helps with that question.
Cool. And then Ravel, you had a question?
Thanks, Sunshower. I just wanted to echo what Jonathan mentioned about the value added that you admins are offering the Live Younger community. It's just exceptional. It's very consistent and high quality. And just to echo what Liz had mentioned about educating folks into using Vibrant Living, which Angela educated me recently, and I in turn educated after the fact. If an individual invites too many people, that can really create a challenge. So one way of educating them would be to ensure that they listen and watch this replay. Thanks for being here.
There you go. Thank you so much, Ravel. Your comments are always astute.
And Ravel, you do a lot in the background to serve this entire community as well. So thank you too.
Yes, you do. Any other hands up, or shall we call it a wrap? Okay, thanks for joining us. August 15th, 2024.
Sunshower, I see a question in the chat.
Okay.
Somebody asked, what are you able to share on these from the testimonials with prospects? The best way to do this is to put them into Vibrant Living. I recognize there are some people who are not in Facebook at all. So in those cases, I think it's fine to share a summary of what happened, to just describe it, but the best way is to get them into the group and then they can see it for themselves with pictures and everything else. And just to make sure that if you were to ask maybe the person who posted something, are you okay with me taking a screenshot to share this with somebody who is not on Facebook? But ask permission, because these groups are both private, and they're private for a reason, because people don't want their stuff. So say I have my own Facebook or Instagram thing going on and I copy something from here without permission and paste it there. That is not okay to take somebody else's information and paste it out publicly on Facebook. So do always, if you have somebody who's not able to get to the groups, please do ask if you're okay sharing a screenshot, or if they prefer you just summarize their experience and share, well, I just read this story, I just saw this story, a person in the group, and I happen to have seen her, say it on a Zoom, or I've seen that myself, they had this experience. That's a more ethical way to do it, but please don't plaster somebody's stuff, because these are private groups.
I would also suggest using the Monday Morning Miracle webinars that we do, because that is public. That's on our YouTube channel, which is liveyoungeryoutube.com. And you can get access to all of the recordings right there.
Excellent. Thank you for that reminder, Liz. Those are all recorded in public.
And so ends Zoom Etiquette 101 with Carl Krebs, Sunshower Rose, and thank you so much to Angela Shaughnessy and of course Liz Hodges for their input today regarding our Facebook groups, Vibrant Living and Live Younger. And happy sailing to all of our fearless leaders and those that are over in the Greek Isles as of right now. We can't wait to see you back home. Bye for now.
Blessings to all of you. Keep
Thank
patching.
you.
Wonderful,
Bye-bye.
wonderful, wonderful information. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have an
Great
excellent-
so
call,
much.
guys. Thank you so much.
much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Beautiful. Have a good X39 day.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.